Hey, everybody. Just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for listening. You are about to hear actually a pretty good conversation we had with Nik Hartweg. Obviously we had him on a couple of years ago, but a lot's happened since then. A lot to go over, but it was more than just talking about his career. We had a great time talking about Loop One that he was a spectator at, how you balance illness and sort of relaxing, when you're on. We mentioned sort of the Campbell versus the Franzi approach. We philosophies of the team, if they've changed at all since last time we talked, Swiss team success, memories of the Olympics in 2022, how Lenzerheide, what World Championships went, and a bunch of things. You're really going to enjoy it. I did want to apologize in advance for two things. First of all, my audio quality throughout is poor because I ended up having to call in. So I was just calling on my phone. We had to reschedule a couple times for various reasons. And then when we finally got us all together, I actually had no access to internet. So rather than rescheduling again, because Nik had been great, and moving things around for us, so we just went ahead and did it. So I apologize about that. Did the best I could editing it, but yeah, it still sounds like I'm on a phone. The other thing is, as I did not have internet, RJ ended up hosting, and I'm sorry, buddy, I'm going to throw you under the bus here, but basically what happened was we just sort of started a conversation, and then RJ hit record because we were already going. So you'll find it sort of picks up mid-conversation. I think that where I cut it, you actually still get the full answer from Nik. I don't think that you miss anything really. So don't worry, there's nothing too big beforehand that got cut out. He didn't give us any secrets, and if he did, we're certainly not going to tell you. Thank you again for listening. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to do it. And hopefully you've enjoyed the interviews we've done this summer, with everybody from the Sluttemark siblings, Emma Lunder, Logan Pletz, obviously more recently Lotte Lee and Jussa Strello. You probably listen to Campbell Wright. We have Nik today, everybody we've had on, throughout. And then obviously we've got a couple more coming before the end of the preseason. So anyway, thank you to everybody for being here. I apologize for the quality, and I promise I will not do that again in the future. So thank you so much. Enjoy the interview.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penalty Loop Podcast, a podcast about biathlon by Jordan Gottschalk from Penalty Loop and a regular guest, RJ Weiss from Biathlon Analytics.
Now, and since today Lenzerheide is open, so I'm back home.
Nice.
In my apartment, Lenzerheide, and so now we're training here at home, and then we'll see. We'll stay here till we take off to Östersund. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Are you guys are having your selection races in 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I actually don't know exactly. I think around 2 weeks. We have like test races and selection races. But since I'm not too nervous about the selection races, it's just anyway test races. I hope I'll manage. Or I guess I am. I never worried about it, so I guess I have a starting spot in Östersund anyway. But so they will come up. I'm taking the plan week for week. That's why I don't know too much ahead.
Honestly, it sounds like a good way of doing it. It's funny because in the last couple of we talked to Campbell Wright and we talked to Caro Noten. And it was funny, listening to because we talked to him actually in back-to-back days. And so listening to Campbell, who is totally like, whatever, I'll just kind of go and figure it out as it's going. And then Caro, who was very much like had a plan for, how she was doing things. And so it's just funny to hear how everybody kind of approaches the season, the different attitudes.
Yeah. No, there for sure is a plan. But I think the coaches have the plan exactly more. And then they explain the bigger picture, and I know the bigger picture. So I know it's the next few weeks, like races and performance wise, and also Östersund. It's not about like being in the best shape yet, because the goal is Olympics, and I have maybe also not had the best summer, but I'll guess we'll talk about it anyway a little bit. But so for me, the time is like having a little bit time till February is still nice, because I'm not expecting too big of performance right now. Or it would be a little bit weird to be in a too good shape right now after the summer, and it would be too early also, because you want to have it in February. So
it's all relative though, right?
Yeah.
You may not be in peak shape, but all the other athletes are probably trying to peak around the Olympics too.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and also every year the level usually gets higher and better. So last year was crazy to see beginning season, that it was so close and so compact and good level. And I think this year it's going to be even more extreme, and we'll see. Especially the beginning of the season is usually a little bit special. Then it starts to normalize a little bit more. So
right.
Yeah.
Gotta be easy in the mind now. Yeah.
So any specific goals in that long-term plan that your coaches have for you, especially regarding the number of medals and the color? Or?
Well, I mean, that's rather the product, right? Not really the planning, but we hope so. I mean, for sure. For me, it's always been a long-term goal. The goal was last season at World Champs to be able to perform and fight for medals, and I think I was able to do that. My real goal was to win a medal, which sadly didn't quite work out. But and the other big thing coming up in my career is now the Olympic Games, which I have been to just there. The goal was getting experience, seeing things, and now this year it's the Olympics. I know I should be able to be in the race for medals, and from an age perspective, I expect myself to be in the race for medals, and I hope everything is that way. But you can't force it, right? You can only do the work as good as you can, and then you will see how it works, because there's always things which pull you back or make it maybe harder. And this year has sadly not been an exception in that case. Has not been the best preparation, but as I said, it's still a long season, and Olympics is luckily not right in the beginning of the season.
How do the World Championships in your hometown versus the Olympics? How does it compare? Is it pretty close in excitement and?
I would say it's a little bit two different things which make it special. For one, the home World Championships is also it's also just been a big goal to get biathlon up to the next level in Switzerland. Getting it in there, letting people know, having people go home and wanting to come back. And really, because in Switzerland, you still sometimes have to explain, or people don't quite understand that like if you look at the bigger picture, or in winter sports, it is quite a big deal internationally in Switzerland, because alpine skiing is so big and we're so successful there. People don't really care about the rest sometimes. So it was like the big goal to get the sport more the attention I think it has in the countries around. And so it was also a personal goal for sure to perform, but also, within the back of the head, you want to perform to be able to get young kids dreaming of wanting to do this, and the Swiss people loving the sport and getting passionate about it. And this was the main goal. And Olympics is really just, this is the childhood dream, right? Like growing up, it's always been the biggest deal. And I think you pick when you're a child, you have the biggest of events. You picture where you want to succeed and where you want to be on top. And since I have chosen biathlon, this is the biggest stage for individual athletes anyway. And this is where everything goes down. And if you have one of those medals or even a golden medal, you are a legend, and this is the biggest thing. So it is really like a personal dream and something you like a life goal, at least a first life goal. I hope there's more to strive for in life also than just a medal. If you look at it in a bigger picture again, but it is in a career, it is the biggest thing. And
what did you take away from the World Championships? Like, what experience did you take away from that will help you be more prepared for the Olympics? Or
yeah. I mean, the difference also there is, I guess, a home World Championship, I will never experience one again. I think this one is gone. Olympics, I hope I have another Olympic coming up where I will be in good shape after. So I don't have, the knife to my throat thinking, oh my God, this is the last chance maybe to do it or fulfill the dream. So it is maybe there a little bit easy in the mind, it could happen again. You could be there again if it didn't work out perfectly this year. But what I took out is just last year I realized what helps me a lot is just being able and like really focusing on enjoying, taking all the energy and atmosphere in. Because at home, it can get quite a lot suddenly with all the Swiss flags. You're not used to it. You don't know it. Everyone's cheering for you. It's a whole new situation, but I was able to really like enjoy it and take it as energy and put it into performance a little bit. And this is what I realized. And it's Olympics. It's a big thing. Whole world is watching for sure. But it is a show, everyone's watching to see something and emotions and so as an athlete yourself, I think you have to be able to know it is a show and you just have to enjoy it and also be able to put yourself out there without being scared. And if you are in front of the race or somewhere where it goes down and it gets important, this is the dream to be there and you want to be exactly there. And with this mindset, it's like you don't regret it or you enjoy it really being in those situations and being there. And I think this helped me a lot, which I realized like last year leading into the home world champs that I thought about it a little bit, like what concept or how do you think about the races and the events. And I figured this really helps me to back off and just enjoy. And at the end, that's if you are at ease with yourself and everything around, that's when you're going to perform the best. And you're not fighting anything. You're taking it in and making the best out of it. Yeah.
Did you feel? I mean, you mentioned seeing all the Swiss flags and like hearing all of the fans, and I know you had been thinking about that moment for a long time. I always wonder, like, how much are you able to absorb and remember those moments? Because it feels like it's like you think about it for so long, and then suddenly it's on top of you, and yet you still have you still have to compete, right? You still have to actually do the job. So, like, how much were you able to like take away from all that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I had the feeling it does go by quickly, and as an athlete, you're always thinking about the next race, the next thing, a little bit. So, and also there has not been like, result-wise this moment, which I was hoping maybe to have. But it was like, I still picture a few moments in the races, maybe good and bad. I have had both, like the moments where you lose it and give it out of the hand. But like also after, you had a lot of people which came back to you and said how great it was, how cool competitions they were, and then you think back about it again, and you have some memories coming back up. So, but it does go by fast for sure, and you're always focusing on the next race, and then suddenly it's over. It goes fast, and I think the first days at home after the World Championships, they were were quite not so nice, I would say, because like realizing it is like really over now, and you didn't pick this chance a little bit. It felt harsh. But then you have a few moments where you realize the crowd was there, they were backing you up. They were in the fight, they were believing in you that now is the time you can get it. And just because you ever so slightly didn't make it for the crowd, it was still interesting race, from a Swiss perspective. And there I still have a few moments which I have in my head, and I think they will hopefully stay there. And but for sure it is, if you think about it back, it's small moments. It's not so many things. Yeah.
Right. Do you recall any kids coming up to you or parents saying, "Hey, we never knew about biathlon, but now my kid is all over it," or something like that? Or
I had a few people telling me that their kid told their parents this is what they want to do or what they want to be a little bit. I hope they do find their way to biathlon. For sure you don't live everywhere there's not snow. So there have been a few kids, and this was actually the most touching, if there's grown adults and people telling you it's great and cool what you're doing and it was spectacular, it's one thing. But if you like really reach young children and you're able to put a dream into a child somehow, this feels really pleasing or nice. And this was a few parents coming to me telling me their kids how they reacted or how they went home after the races, and this was, I think, one of the nicest things I received during my career so far. Yeah.
Well, and keep in mind, like I've followed biathlon for a long time, but I only started doing it myself in my late 40s. So there's also, kids in older bodies that might have picked it up after seeing it.
You can still have a dream with 40, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah.
You mentioned the being at the Olympics in 2022. Are there any things you learned? Any things you take forward from 2022 to looking forward to these upcoming games?
Yeah, I mean, there I went to the Olympics, and I always, as a young child, I always had the goal, to fight for medals. So for me, it was never just like a dream to go to the Olympics. It was always a dream to win a medal at the Olympics. So, but nevertheless, if you experience the Olympics for the first time and you realize what it means and you arrive and you reflect a little bit about it, it feels still emotional just to be there for the first time, being at the Olympics. Because also my mother, she gave me a letter. I went there and she told me to open it when I arrive in my room. And then she wrote a little bit, about the history, because my family has always been sporty and active. And, in this letter, she wrote me that this is a family dream a little bit, something my granddad always wanted to go to the Olympics, never made it. My mom actually had the dream when she was younger, got torn back by injury and stopped quite early. And then, like in a few generations later, it feels like you're able to fulfill this dream for not just yourself maybe, but for parents and grandparents before, which had it in themselves. And realizing this, it's quite emotional. So I feel like I have had all this and experienced all this at first, and I think it is valuable you had it once a little bit, so you know what's going on, maybe media all around, and you have been there. Now if you are second time, it's not really special, so it is a little bit something you have seen before, and something what's coming up. Maybe you saw other athletes win, reactions a little bit, how everything goes on. But still, it's going to be completely different games than the last times in China. I'm quite sure there. So it's going to be so different. And so
it's a bit of a conflict, though, where you were saying, as a kid, you dreamt of winning medals, not just participating. But your mom probably wrote in the letter that just participating at the Olympics is quite the honor.
Yeah, exactly. No, going there, it was like, I mean, it is special, you pick up your clothes, you get all those things. and just the Olympic rings, they are special. Like if you look at them, and then when you arrive the first time, and you drive to the village and you see the Olympic rings on the mountain, up the hill at dark and stuff, and then all the reactions from everyone else. Also athletes which have been there 3 or 4 times already, and you still feel it is still super special for them.
Right.
And then you realize a little bit, so, okay, well, maybe it is just really awesome just to be here, Mm-hmm. And then you read this, and then you read the note maybe from your mother, realizing it is actually just a super special thing to be here, and how many athletes, would have maybe just had the dream to go to the Olympics. And then you maybe realize that it is, even though you have always been dreaming for bigger, to win, at Olympics and not just participate. It still feels really satisfying just to participate and take it all in. And I think that's cool, because the first time I knew I'm not going to fight for medals. I want to do my best races for sure. But I'm just there, to also enjoy it and take it in. And this time when I go there, I hope I have had races before where I can show that I can be able to go for the medals, and then go there and hopefully see if we can grab one. I don't know. We'll see how the races go.
I remember another athlete, I don't remember who it was, but he said, my goal is to be at an Olympics to participate, but when I'm there, I might as well go for a medal.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, kind of makes sense, right? You want to enjoy being there, but,
yeah,
you don't necessarily
might enjoy more if you get a medal, huh?
Well, I don't know if it's more. It may be just a different enjoyment.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, everyone has their goals, right, somewhere, and you have to accept one day that not everyone has the same genetics. Also you can train as much as you want, but maybe you're just not born with a big enough lung, maybe, and stuff. So at a certain day you have to really enjoy the things also, because you never know how far you can reach or how far you can take it, and can't just always think you can win every race and stuff like that. So you have to really like set your goals on your level and your history a little bit. That's why if I say I want to win a gold medal for sure, but it is quite far fetched for me also. So yeah.
I don't know if that's like, because you have won, right?
In a relay, yeah.
So, but I mean, so if you can do it once, you can do it again, right?
Yeah. I learned how to win last year. We'll see if we can.
Yeah.
You saw with Eric, like once he started winning, he knew how it works, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now he just can't stop himself, right?
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask, with you going to the Olympics, and you mentioned seeing those rings. I think what we heard last time, and of course we're not there. We just get to watch it on TV. But especially this year with the home being in Milan, but of course you guys will be out in Antholz. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you wish you could participate? I'm thinking particularly about like the opening ceremonies where you guys will sort of be separated out. I guess I'm trying to think, is there anything that you feel like being in biathlon you miss out on a little bit?
Like I would say probably yes. For the Olympic experience, it's probably not exactly the same as it has maybe traditionally been. Everyone a little bit closer at the same spot, but I think it is the right way for the modern time. I think it's the way to go, and it's going to be the future, especially in winter sports. You're never going to have everyone at one spot, and if you do, it's probably just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So I think it is a little bit. Arabia? maybe, yeah. But yeah, then if you have everyone at one spot, it's gonna be ridiculous. So I think the games will be a little bit different in future also. And for me, I have never been to an opening or closing ceremony, also not in the last Olympic Games, because it has been quite a travel, and it was quite cold there. So I think this year also, for performance perspective, like opening ceremony, is probably not going to be a thing. But also, this is my first time thinking about it. Even like I've not thought about it, but at the end, yeah, you're going to do everything you can to be in the best shape and the best rested version of yourself for the races to do the best races you can, hopefully. So I think for me personally, opening ceremony is not going to be a thing. But if you are there for the first time, these are the things which make the game so special, right? And they're knowing why are you there for? What's your goal? Are you also there to take it in, or have you maybe already done it like me and don't have to try to take it in too much and focus a little bit, downplay it a little bit, to not build too much pressure internally.
If you take your athlete's hat off, is there any event you would love to see?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's incredibly tricky to see races there. Like even as a visitor, I heard it's gonna be nuts to watch certain races, the prices you have to pay, and so yeah, for sure. I have watched quite a few races last time in Peking after the last race. Since I didn't make the mass start, I had a few days of partying and watching races. This was good. So no, I think I enjoy every race actually. Like watching ski alpine would be great. Going to cross country, because this is also so close to our sport. So many people in cross country. You wanna be there and cheer on and maybe see some good victories, and those things would be nice to see. But we'll see. I have no idea. I haven't thought about this also, because first comes the races, and then hopefully, if you had good races, a closing ceremony, and then you maybe have time to watch some other things in between.
We saw some new suits for your team. Are those for the Olympics as well, or is there a special coming up?
No, there's probably a special coming up. I have not seen the Olympic suit.
So can you talk to those people that make that decision and remind them of the amazing suits that the alpine skiers used to have with the goat cheese, or not the goat cheese, the cheese with the holes?
Yeah. That would be great. That would be crazy. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
But I'm quite sure this is not going to happen. But I think one day it would be nice to have the cheese suit, even just for a World Cup season. Cheese suit would be nice, right? This one's legendary. Yeah.
Do you have any checkpoints you're looking for as you're going through the season? I know that you mentioned that you wanted to have some good races going into the Olympics, but are there specific markers you're hoping to hit? Kind of like, okay, I hit this, now I go for this, now I know I'm on track for good Olympic success.
Yeah, I would say like now the most important thing in my head is just to be able to power through till the Olympics, not get sick, not have to change the plan. If you can keep the plan, it's good. And there in the plan, we for sure have weeks where we want to see performance, especially the last races before Olympics. You should surely slowly be there. But there's also, similar to last year, I've done this also. Like for now, Östersund for me is going to be training a lot. I'm going to race. Maybe there's a few races I will leave out. I don't know if it's a relay or something, to just, since I get sick a lot, I have to try to maybe put a little bit stress off the body to stay healthy, and then I'm going to put in quite some training volume around the races in looking ahead to the Olympics. And then you have weeks where it's a little bit recovery and racing. And then later on, you will want to have the races with a good performance and that. So, for me now, the first races, I'm not looking so much for results. I mean, I race to make results for sure. Like I'm not starting with half ambition and half commitment, but you can't win from the beginning to the end of the season unless you are someone incredibly special. They can do it, but
he retired, so
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Maybe, well, there's others.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But no, so I hope the last races, which would be Oberhof and Ruppolding, and then I think Nove Mesto is planned to leave out for training to prepare for the Olympics the best as possible. So those 2 weeks will be the weeks to perform, and then I think there you can see, or those are the weeks where you will be able to see who is dangerous for the Olympics and who can you count in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if at that point you're number one in the World Cup,
yeah,
will that change anything?
Well, we'll talk. We can do another talk then afterwards. Then you will know. Okay. Well, I mean, if you are, it's probably then I would. This is a hard question. Yeah, I don't know. Usually, if you are number one, maybe like, yeah, this is a little bit question, right? Would you want more if you would choose then a medal or the overall World Cup?
Yeah.
And you never know for sure. But then that would be a hard question. But I would probably still pick an Olympic medal. But for sure,
I hope we're not creating a lot of extra stress for you, where you're like, oh, I never thought of that.
I'm not sleeping tonight because I have to think if I want to win the overall or Olympic medal. Oh my God, no! Oh, it's so stressful. Yeah.
Hopefully that is a decision that you have to make.
Yeah, I hope so. This is the stress you want to be in, right?
Yeah. You mentioned getting sick. So obviously that's something that you've dealt with 800 times, I think, since the last time we spoke, like 2 years ago. We actually we've seen a couple different pathways. I'm going to bring up Campbell again because he's such a ridiculous dude, but and I mean that in the best way possible. But
yeah,
he was very laissez-faire about it. Like, if I get sick, whatever, part of life. We've obviously seen Franzi go completely the opposite way, where she did everything she could to not get sick last year, sort of wearing the mask everywhere, limiting her time out. How do you find the balance in there? I mean, where do you come in on that?
Yeah, I would say I have been more on the side of Franzi's version, really trying everything I can to not get sick, fly with a mask, do everything around it, make sure you isolate yourself and all these things. And then last season I have tried, since this has been a little bit tricky, and then you want to improve somewhere, you have been sick and basically you have been doing everything you can somehow, it feels like it, and then you maybe realize, okay, maybe I am putting a lot of stress on my body by trying too hard not to get sick, that you somehow, get stressed around situations where you feel like you could get sick, and then maybe it's like hitting you right because of that, because you're somehow stressed too much about it.
Yeah.
And also, I am convinced of you have to build up your immune system in a natural way also. Like, if you always isolate all summer already, all the time, how are you going to cope with suddenly viruses coming in the first time and you have not had them a lot because you haven't gone shopping, you haven't gone whatever, So then I think it's also counterproductive. So I'm trying to have a little bit of a in-between in summer, trying to be more relaxed. And then in winter, beginning of the season, maybe also a little bit more relaxed. And then in the last few weeks leading up, for sure, being fully strict, like really from the Christmas break on, it's really also game on there. And you need your whole surrounding to be aware of it also, when you meet your girlfriend, thinking a little bit about where you have been before and how to meet up, that there's nothing, no big risk, or family, over Christmas a little bit. These are things you have to think about for the whole Olympic preparation, right?
Yeah.
And I would probably say I am still more, quite strict and try to do the best I can. Just, because it is just different, Some people I see people like Giacomel, Tommy, he flies around and I see him a lot without masks and stuff, and he just seems to to be able to stay healthy. And I just seem to get sick a lot, and somehow it doesn't really matter what you do if you take care of it or you don't take care of it. Somehow it can still like find its way. So I would say it's a little bit of an in between, but yeah, stressing too much about it, I think is also a little bit counterproductive. But the things you can do, which are not so stressful, might as well do it and hope for the best. Yeah.
So I gotta ask, did you do a deal with the devil to win that globe over Tommy, a few years back? Because since then, I think you've been sick multiple times a season. You had the shoulder surgery last summer. You had whatever happened. I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to say what happened to you this summer.
I'm going to tell you. No, if it seems like it, huh? It seems like it. Well, you have to say also that the season where I won the Globe, the U25.
Yeah.
I was sick twice in summer and 3 times during the season. But you probably wouldn't know, because I managed to kind of like sneak my way through it with the sickness. But like in that season, I have gotten sick in Le Grand Bonnat the first trimester. I missed those races. Then I was sick towards end of the World Champs. I left out the mass start, for example, and stuff. This one didn't count for the overall. And then I had one more week. I don't quite remember right now, where I was sick also. And there, I think I am really clever with the sickness. I take it out early. I'm quite consequent there, and then I managed to come back strongly. But it has also been a thing in that season. Like I managed to somehow sneak my way through. Then and just the races I was there, I was in a good shape. I was really like also hitting all the targets. So it was just the results were just coming when they had to, and so that's why I still managed to rank quite high in the overall, even though I was sick 3 times during that season. Later on, it just hit me a little worse timing. The sicknesses, maybe harder sicknesses, than not performing the days I was in the race, then also leaving some targets missed, which maybe the year before was not the case. And then suddenly, you feel like season is over and there was not a day where it worked out. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember quite with who I was chatting of you guys there after Canmore, but it was quite a frustrating year after that year. Yeah, I mean, maybe now this were my last sicknesses I had. I was sick 4 times this summer, 4 times, and
get them all out of your system.
Yeah, I would say I've had everything there is to have now. So
great,
I am immune, and
hold on.
There you go.
It's like, yeah.
You were talking about stress relief. I remember from a previous recording we had with you that you went surfing with your buddies, I believe.
Yeah.
Did you do that again this summer?
Yes. No, this is the best for me in spring. In spring, especially, like for surfing, you need to take time. You usually need to go quite far away. It's quite tricky to surf in Switzerland, or not surf in a pool, where you're probably not switching off. Anyway, so we went to Lombok this year, in spring, and next year also I'm gonna go somewhere where it's warm. You're in the ocean. That's really for me the best way to switch off. The waves, power. You reach your limits with the paddling, getting smashed by waves. Next moment it's peaceful. You can relax. You're so far away from all these things. For me, really the best. I'm so glad I found this hobby. It's the best, really.
And it's the same group of guys, right? Usually.
Yeah. Usually it's around about the same people, give or take a few maybe. But some surf better, some don't. Some are not there to surf, but usually where you can surf good, there's good parties also for some others maybe. No. So it's always good spring.
What are the highest waves you will surf on?
Oof.
I guess it's hard to...
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, only because they're high doesn't mean, they can be smaller and more powerful and
right.
fuck you up more. But I would say I have surfed probably 3 to 3.5, 4 meter waves, which have been big, yeah, for sure. But then on those days, they are for sure not, like there's no tubes. Otherwise,
Right.
I would probably not be here right now. No. Then it's more flat waves for sure. But there have been days where I have not been going out because it's too big. But I like to challenge myself and search the limit. And there have been days where, you don't make it out because it's too big, and you never find a minute where you can make it out because the waves are just pumping too hard.
You just watch the professionals?
Yeah, well, yeah, if there are, yeah. But I think mostly the days where I really don't go into water, they really, you have to take the jet ski out, to get out
okay.
even.
Oh, that's not too bad either.
No. Well, or I have also not been at places where it's been like pumping so hard that it has not been like possible, maybe. So yeah.
Is there any windsurfing in Switzerland? I guess the Lake of Geneva should be big enough.
Wind. There's quite a few spots actually.
Okay,
but this has not been like, I have been windsurfing when I was younger. I don't know. You guys surf?
I used to windsurf.
Yeah,
but it's like 35 years ago, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well, still be able to, I guess.
Yeah.
When you did it. It's a routine.
Yeah, I suppose. I've tried surfing as well. We were on our honeymoon in Hawaii, and we did a surfing lesson. But I think I was very distracted with. I've always had a bit of a fear of the ocean. I love being in the ocean, but I always feel like as soon as I put my legs in, the sharks in the world are like, ooh, little snack. So I'm a little antsy, and then we had to wait at a buoy so that the teacher could let us go to him one by one. And there was this massive sea turtle that showed his head like a meter away from me, and that freaked me out so much that I was kind of done after that. But
oh no.
Yeah, but it was fun though. It's I think what you were saying, that feeling the power of a wave is quite something.
Yeah. It's this mix between, like it's rough and you're gonna be full of adrenaline, and you're gonna reach your limits, and you're gonna be like underwater, like needing air, and then the next moment you're just sitting there waiting for waves, and it's just super peaceful and chill. And like this contrast is somehow quite crazy, and yeah, all the things I like at once a little bit. Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because it in a way it's similar to biathlon, that it's two very different things in one combo, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's the calmness and the stress and hectic and all out. Yeah, it's true.
But Jordan, you never surfed?
Not a bit. Nope. My sister,
Florida man.
Yeah, no. My sister's gone. She's been in Brazil. She's surfed, I think, somewhere out in the Pacific, but nope, not me. Just never did it.
Well, I know you're going off to the beach for a week, so.
Yeah, so
never too late.
I will. Yeah, I guess so. If I do it, I will certainly send you guys a picture. I will make sure to. It's something embarrassing.
Please. Okay.
No,
but there are spots you don't want to surf regarding sharks and stuff. Like, I think I'm not planning my surf trips to South Africa or Australia or stuff like.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pass on that one also.
Where's your dream spot?
Well, I would say, like, now to really surf, now Indonesia has been crazy. It is a little bit of a cheat code for sure.
Yeah.
You just it's like a wave pool. The waves are so consistent, it feels like everyone can surf there. It feels so easy. And but the most enjoyable vacation has been Costa Rica, because it's just like untouched nature, super beautiful, just super nice. Like everything around it. And then when you're in the water there, with the palm trees and everything, it's nuts. That's crazy. Yeah, that was the best.
And the closest, would that be Portugal for you, or Gran Canaria?
Yeah, France,
maybe?
France, Portugal. There's actually, you can surf in Italy also. I have been once in Italy. Yeah. Huh. But I think you need quite a big storm, and then it brews up the waves, and then you can surf, and they actually quite good. But like, nobody believes me. But if you're there, because there's usually never waves for sure. And then if you're there and there's waves, then like half Switzerland is driving down and Italians. And then it's like 200 people in the water, one wave. And then everyone's super aggressive. And it's just, it's a joke, But, yeah, if it would have good waves if there would not be people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Navarro in Portugal? Is that a spot where the World Cup or the professionals go?
What do you mean?
Doesn't matter. Oh, I thought in Portugal there's a place, Navarro, where I guess the World Cup surfing circuit is going every year. But
yeah, maybe I don't know right now. But there's a lot in Portugal which is big and popular for sure. And France also, but usually the big waves, they come in winter, and there we are, or autumn, spring, and in spring, maybe you want to go somewhere else where you also have a little bit of temperature with it, and not not like 10 degrees in the ocean. I like surfing, but maybe not that much in spring,
right?
To go there,
yeah.
Yeah,
I heard of Vancouver Island is pretty cool to surf, but you'll need a triple wetsuit or something to.
Yeah, and then you might get eaten by orcas or.
No, they don't eat people.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I think really they.
I'd piss my pants if I see an orca pulling up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter in a wetsuit, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They are clever, so they won't think you're a seal. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Nik, you were at Loop 1 and you were watching on the ground. So we've gotten to talk to a couple people who participated. What was it like actually being there as a spectator? And then also, if you don't mind filling us in on that app that you showed off. I'm really curious about that too.
The what? Sorry? I showed up after?
There was a video from that of you, like you had like the targets that were up on your phone and you were.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, the app. Sorry. No, well, I was there because I got sick beforehand, and it was also planned to have a few easy days. And since this year, like I never had the possibility to like properly switch off, because all my easy weeks have been just sickness weeks and then training in between. So I really felt like I need some days to switch off. So I booked a few things in Munich anyway for Monday, Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, I'm on the travel anyway, and we're driving home from camp, going by Munich. I'll go by and watch the Loop 1 because I was already quite healthy again. Some fresh air out and not miss the race action is good to be there also mentally maybe. And it was a cool event. Like really, I don't know how the TV pictures looked, but I would think quite spectacular. Because it was quite cool, and there was quite a lot of like carpets in the stadium and stuff, and I was thinking there's going to be more crashes, but it all worked out super smooth, except one exception, I think, with the ladies. Yep. There was a crash, but there was a lot of people, good crowd, so I think it was a great event, and I think to all the people I talked to, it was quite a success, and so yeah, there was also this app, I thought, I was talking to the guys from the IBU. I thought, everyone's going to be able to use this on the race day somehow. Maybe they put up a QR code or something, but I think it was just for the coaches and everyone in the shooting range. Okay. But it was basically, they have the targets, and they're not the same targets we shoot on in winter. In winter, we have like these two systems. I think it's the Hora and the other one, which, flaps up.
Yeah.
And these were like electronical targets, which they measure where the shots go, so you can basically see it. I don't know if you saw it on TV, but in the stadium you also saw with every shot you saw exactly the position of the shot, and then basically there's an app where you could see just every range, every athlete, how they shot, where they shot exactly. Which I think is cool. Like I think this is probably something they will implement in future also somewhere in World Cups. But there, you would have to change every venue the targets. I don't know how big of a thing this is. Also, as an athlete, I don't enjoy shooting on those electrical targets. They don't feel, I don't know, they don't have the feedback, they don't feel so so nice. Like the show competitions in Sweden, in Stockholm, in the stadium, there are also these targets, and it is cool as a viewer. You know, you can see exactly the shots. It's interesting. I think it is for sure an upgrade as a spectacle to watch it. But shooting wise, I don't know. I don't enjoy it so much. And then because it's all electronical, you know, you feel like, was that really out? You know, is it playing tricks on me? And with the mechanical version, you know, it's there's nobody to fool you. There's no calculations behind or anything. So,
well, and I so far pretty much all the athletes that I've asked, they are really struggling with the delay.
Yeah.
Seeing if you had a hit, because of course, well, I mean, you know, 99% of your shots you can hear if it's a hit or miss, but at least you have the visual indicator pretty much right away. Where it sounded like there was a bit of a delay, so then when you've already moved to your next target, you don't really know if you had a hit or not. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, it's something you get used to a little bit. You know, there all summer you shoot at the same range, and also there's timing differences between every range in the World Cup, like except the ones which really fold up mechanically, they are always pretty much the same. But the electronical ones which close like this, they can have totally different delays. Like the one we have here is different than the one in Hochfilzen, and there you have to get used to it a little bit. But this one for sure, it there's not so much or not this nice feedback. You're used to it in other ways, and then it's just weird. Yeah, it's not satisfying.
I've already been thinking of if they could record the different kinds of sound of edge shots and clean hits and that kind of thing, and then that the sensor that shows you where the bullet goes can obviously also play that sound. So maybe that's
you mean it's a different sound depending if you hit or fail?
Yeah,
maybe.
Who knows?
I have no idea how the system works, to be honest. I just no, I don't enjoy shooting on those targets, and it would be cool with the hits and the pictures and the app and everything.
Yeah. So I was hoping they would come with the system where they can almost have like almost like a field of laser in front of the target, so they can register where the bullet goes through. But you still have the visual and the audible communication, I guess, to show you if it's a hit right away as an athlete. Like for spectators, it's amazing, and I'm really hoping that the data will become available at some point. But but it will change the job of a coach almost too. Because they don't need the scopes anymore, and the data is right there, so they don't have to mark it on their board and take pictures and send it to the other people. And
So you know for sure who's not going to be wanting those systems, huh?
Well, and I don't know. It seems to me that the typical demographic of coaches is male and older than me, so they're typically not quick on the uptake of new technology.
No, but usually if it is of value for the spectators and TV viewers, it's usually going to come. So I guess it's going to be a matter of time, and then also if we enjoy shooting on it or not is not going to make
suck it up.
Going to be exactly not going to be part of the conversation, and then at the end it's the same for everyone. So it's going to be the way it is, but I have not heard anything, so I guess it's going to stay
maybe not introduce it at the Olympics in Antholz.
Maybe not. Like, hey guys, by the way, these are the targets.
Oh gosh, can you imagine? I mean, sadly, I could actually see them doing it.
You think so?
Another stress factor.
Yeah, no, just as like, hey, for the viewer experience, the TV partners have requested anyway.
Yeah, then I'm for sure going to Novo Mesto and going for the overall. Taking my decision.
Yeah, there we go. We know. We joked about the coaches not loving it. Do you think? Because your coach Sandra Flunger, she's been, I think, pretty aggressive about sort of doing new things. Do you think that she would like it, or would she also just be like the other coaches and sort of be a little more hesitant?
I think she'd be okay with it, probably. But I think she would prefer just the way it is because it works. And for training for athletes, like for us, it doesn't have a real benefit. And I think this usually for coaches is one of the main things, first you think about your athletes and the work a little bit, and then the rest, if it's better for the audience, it will find its way because there's other people pushing the things for those. So I think she would probably also prefer, keeping it the same. But I mean, for us, we never really think about those things because, there's as an athlete, you have other things to think about. And as long as these targets are not here for us to shoot on and we have to shoot on them, then might as well put your energy somewhere else.
Do you actually look at your shot locations after a race?
Yeah. No, for sure. Like sometimes you look at it more exact, sometimes you care maybe a little bit less. But by the latest in the hotel, we always get it on our phone from the coaches, or if you see the coach after the race, for a quick debrief, you discuss it there. Because it has, quite high importance. You change the shooting range every week almost. Yeah. Every shooting range maybe has their small differences. If the wind is like this somewhere, I don't know, in Sweden, it's like this in Hofilzen, it could mean something different, the way you have to adjust and react. So it is quite important you learn there and maybe also note it down so for next year. This is maybe where experience can help. And also if you've been around for a minute, then maybe the different shooting ranges, how the wind reacts there a little differently.
Do you because I always think, especially when they're starting the season there, Östersund and Kortialahti, they're pretty dark still when you guys are racing. Does it make a difference for you? Or
I think shooting in the dark is quite enjoyable. Because usually the artificial light is quite good. So the contrast between black and white is quite clear. I think it's harder if you have sunlight like shining in from directions maybe you don't enjoy so much. In Östersund, usually the tricky part is the mat. Because, you have it's quite moist air. There's a lot of like crystals, so they get quite slippery. Right. And the wind sometimes for sure also there. So it is quite a tricky race to gain the confidence you need in a shooting. Directly if you don't quite have it yet. So we'll see.
I remember, was it on the IBU Cup they raced? Was it Val Martel where they shoot over a creek?
Yeah, in Martel there's a river between.
Yeah,
actually
that must be kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're racing, also you don't look so much down. You look at the targets.
I guess
when
more
you train, so
because often with rivers or creeks, there's often like a flow of wind kind of goes through it and stuff. I guess you still see it by the flags, but just made me think it's probably it looked pretty, but it's probably not ideal for shooting.
No, those are the things which are exactly the case. Which one shooting range you have the flags and they can look the same but mean something totally different because you have a river underneath or the wind is weird there, so that's where experience helps a lot. And this is one of the ranges which is quite special. You probably have to know a little bit what you're doing there if you want to take it completely exact. Yeah.
Do you typically shade? Or I don't know what you would call that in Swiss, but so did you kind of counter effect for the wind, or do you usually use the clicks on the...
Do you mean like from a feeling wise, you aim a little bit differently?
If the wind's coming from the left, you just aim a little to the left? Or?
Well, if the wind is consistent, never.
Right.
Since if it's consistent, you can just change and then it will be fine. But sometimes, you're in a situation where you miss and you don't know where you're left or right. And then in that situation, also if the wind changes all the time in between the shots, I feel like, there's more wind coming in. Was it left? Or for example, I missed 2 targets, then I don't know where I am. Basically, if I don't know I have to adapt just right or left, then I'm just going to, maybe shade a little bit to the right and then be like, okay, I need to aim more there. And then take the adjustment maybe after the shot, or if it's just one more shot, my already shot 3 mistakes, I don't know, you shade it and go for it, or maybe just call it a day there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because do you like, have you ever forgotten? So when you zero, you start with 0, and then, the first prone, you have to do 3 clicks to the right because the wind picked up. And then the next prone, you're like, so I have to go 2 left, but I was 3 right. So I'm actually plus, like, does it ever mess you up or?
No, like in a race, I think I have never had this. Like for sure, I have adjusted wrongly in a race, 100%, but not because I forgot like where I was before. I think this works out in training for sure. I think every biathlete knows, sometimes there's other things you're thinking about. It's a routine, and then you're like, what did I? Or this spring somehow I was off of biathlon for so long that I was struggling like to think of, do I have to just right or left now? Wait a minute. That's like, I was so out of biathlon for a minute that I was like really struggling with memorizing and thinking there. But in a race, luckily not yet. So.
But do you have like
this way?
A way to deal with it? Like when you when you leave the range, do you say like I'm at +2, and then if you have to do 3 left the next shooting, I'm at -1 or left 1 or something like that? Is that part of your routine or?
Yeah. Well, a little bit. I mean, at the end, it's just memorizing it. I have never thought about like some hack
another one
to think of it. What?
Another thing you never thought about.
No. I mean, it works so far, so.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why think about anything else? No, it's basically, you start shooting. Maybe if you zeroed with wind, okay, maybe it's roughly 3 clicks, which you would have to change for it if the wind would be gone. Because this is a thought you always make, if you zeroed with wind. You for sure know it could happen that the wind is gone in the race. So you have to have a little bit in your mind, what would you do if the wind is gone? So a little bit there. And then from there, it's either stronger or less. So you're going to adjust more, adjust less. And then next time you come to the shooting, if it's a 4-time shooting, you still know, I guess, or at least I'm glad I still have enough brain cells to memorize that one. I think the day I really struggle with this situation, I might actually have to think about other things than just sport, maybe, get the brain working again.
Yeah.
Do you know of any athletes who do mostly by shading, just by experience? And
yeah, I think there's definitely a few. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few maybe, but I never really talked about others because I found my way and I am confident in it, and then but for sure there's people maybe just, not caring so much or think, I don't know. I have no idea.
I always wonder about, I have no idea if maybe he's quite the opposite, but I always think of Seaminator.
Do you think he's shading?
Well, it just seems like wind doesn't affect him for some reason.
Yeah.
Where you see others struggle and then he just hits 5 in a row and makes it look like...
He's a machine, yeah. He's just... Yeah.
Although last year...
No matter what.
Was not his best, but
okay.
Hopefully he can come back.
Well, I was going to say, Nick, when you've been doing it as long as he has, then you'll be the same way.
Yeah, I guess. Like when I was younger, everyone says like, you need experience and stuff like this. And I always wonder how much experience like really makes you a better athlete than in the race. And in certain ways, for sure, there's a few things. But I also think at the end of the day, it's if you have the basics right, it's not the most complicated thing in the world if you think about it. There's a few things you need to do maybe in an ideal race. But yeah, I mean, maybe it will get better and better. Like last season's, my shooting has not been quite there where I hope it would be. So we'll see. See if this year it's back or at it again.
Do you look at your number of clean hits versus edge shots? Like almost to...
No. You mean like really like the percentage of like the quality of the hit a little bit?
Yeah, if you, let's say your season average is 87%, but of those, that 9 out of 10 were clean hits, and, because there's always a bit of luck, I guess, in the sense that an edge shot can fall either way, but...
Yeah. No, actually not. But that would be interesting, actually, if you say so, yeah, because, you could have completely different hit percentages, but maybe you were just like shooting quite similarly, but always a little bit out of luck, for the season. Maybe.
Well, it made me think of Justus Strelo, who, well, I mean, the shooting he did 2 seasons ago will be hard to beat, especially prone. But if you knew that, well, I was just very lucky that year, so if I hit 5% lower, it's still really good. I was just, everything just fell in the right place the season before. I don't know if that would...
Yeah, like take off a little bit of the expectations. That's interesting because maybe, like for me, it's been the season I had 3 years ago. I think the one, a little bit the breakthrough season, where it seemed like all the shots are just finding their place to the target, and maybe the hit rate I have on paper is better than the quality of the shots, which maybe maybe I was just also lucky a lot of times, and then
or the other way, like you can also just have a season that's not as good, but then you look at the percentage of lucky shots or unlucky shots, and then
exactly. That's interesting. But I think it's hard to, judge like when was it really like a lucky or, everyone can see a lucky shot there, but like where do you pull the line a little bit to put those in? But
see, that's where the new system comes in.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The coaches hate this trick, huh? The new system.
Yeah, because I mean, we're all being replaced by AI. Who knows? Soon you just get a computer who reads it out to you.
That's true.
Do you wear any sensors when you're skiing, just to analyze your speed and uphills and that kind of thing?
During a race or in training?
I guess I was thinking in a race if it's even allowed.
No, in a race, I enjoy like keeping it only to the feeling. Like I don't wear a chest strap for heart rate, for example, because it feels like sometimes it slides down and it's annoying, and then sometimes it feels like it's holding you in a little bit, or with the shooting and stuff. I don't enjoy that. In training, I always do. And I think this is also one thing which probably will come in the future. I think all athletes will have sensors in the bib maybe in future and stuff, or on the rifle. I don't know how they're going to do this, but I think this is one thing you have seen quite a lot in training over the last 2 years. Athletes wearing the GPSs in the back, and you can analyze pacing and parts of the tracks. We have had statistics about these things, but we haven't used them in training, actually.
Okay.
Just for testing, but I think nothing really came out there. But this is, I think, one of the things which also, like last season, helped me quite a bit, is the race pacing strategy, where I feel this is something which is going to be more and more awareness, and also going to be one of those reasons why the field is going to be more compact.
Yeah.
Because before, if you never have it on paper with the pacing and showing you what you really lose because you're starting too fast, you maybe don't quite see it or believe it, and you always want to be in the race. So usually you see first lap a lot of athletes going just over their limits because they want to somehow chase the Norwegians and then be there. And including myself, the last years, like I am quite heavy and have quite a lot of muscle, so like the first lap I feel way too good, and then it gets me in the second one like, no, you ain't. Not that good.
But I also think for television it would be cool to see, like I know that on the biathlon results you can sort of see where people are, but it's more based on the intermission times. But I think it would be cool if you can just see live how far people are away from each other.
Yeah. But like really take micro segments, right? Like you could say, okay, athlete A, or like here's the winner, and he actually, he was like gaining those 10 seconds, like just in the downhills over the whole race, for example, or you could like really make it up, and then maybe also see, how good was the ski based on this data, for example, also. So this would be interesting. Yeah.
I think we should think about like setting up a little business there together.
Yeah.
So I just have to pop out for a minute, deal with the contractor. I'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Yeah. I missed how you guys got even on that question. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, the question was like how if I wear any sensors, like during racing or training. And I said like in training I do, like for sure heart rate and stuff like this, a little bit basics.
Yeah.
In racing I really don't at all. I hate like having things about like there when you really need to breathe and go to your max, and then it can happen that this stupid chest strap's open and then it's just like sliding around. It's quite annoying. So during a race, for sure not. But yeah. And then we talked about the sensors. I don't know when you joined in. If
yeah, no, that's when I popped in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you let that dictate your training for the next day, or is it just sort of an interesting data point for you, like what your heart rate was or your recovery?
No, I think the most important for me, which I learned also, when having all this data, is the feeling you have as an athlete can be really valuable. Yeah. And for me, I'm able to feel quite well what my body tells me. And so usually the data is usually a day or two behind. Like I feel it coming up already a little bit before the data maybe shows me. But the data is really important. Like the heart rate, it's going to tell you quite a lot. It can vary based on different things for sure from day to day. But if you have some data and the feeling over a few days telling you all in one direction, you can be quite sure that there's something going on, or if everything is going in a good direction, and better, out of sicknesses out and stuff. For sure, it's part of the bigger picture and really important.
Yeah, I just, I think that it's really interesting how different people use that. I think that even some of the athletes I work with, they will, they'll have the data, they'll have their heart rates, and they just sort of like don't pay attention to it at all. They're like, that's interesting. And other people, like, they will like change their workout, right? So they'll look at, what they did the day before, what their heart rate was during a certain workout, and then if it was too high or whatever, they'll then alter the workout for the following day because to try to maximize what they're able to do. And I from a scientific point of view, I don't know if the science is there totally to support it. I think that you're right. I think listen to your body, right? Especially if you're really in touch with yourself and sort of what you're able to do.
Yeah, and then I think there's, with the data you have to be really careful because there's certain things which have been there for a minute and they work and they're, okay, this is something you can really go on. And then there's certain things, which are just, you don't know how really accurate those data points are. And then it's quite hard to like change your whole training and things based on this data which could be quite unreliable. For example, like here you have the Whoop, and this in a bigger picture, it can be valuable if you know how to read it and you understand a little bit how your body works, how certain training periods worked, and based on this data, maybe it can fit the picture and you learn something. But it's for sure not as simple as you look at it and it tells you, oh, your body's at 40%, take a day off, and then you're going to take a day off. It's really at the end, or at least for me, I figured out like my feeling is really the most important. But in training in Switzerland, we are really strict about heart rate, it comes from cross country, and that's just how I grew up all the time, and all the athletes around me as well. I would say a little bit maybe the generation before, they didn't care so much. Always been a little bit faster, but we really in all the endurance sessions and the sessions later, it's really you have a plan, and then you have to stay in this area. And then you can, on the heart rate later, you can maybe analyze how quickly it drops off in downhills and stuff, in comparison. So you can see a little bit how your heart rate reacts, and this will tell you a little bit maybe how the body is at the moment, or if it's good or maybe a little bit worrying, tired or not reactive enough. And then also if it just was too high, all the time, then you have to be a little bit more careful with the following days, maybe take a little bit out, because if you have just been training more than you planned, or more intensive than you planned, you have to respect this also, and then you have to adjust the planning in future. So this is for me really important, the heart rate in training, because it tells me a lot, for the intensity, for how my body is recovering, how everything is going there. And but these are things which my coach, he analyzes this after the sessions, looks at the heart rate picture and pulls a few graphs and whatever, I don't know. So there I have quite easy. I just get the feedback from him. Yeah.
Nice.
Do you know, Jordan, from a medical perspective, is there any indicators in the human body when someone is starting to get sick?
Yes. But they're not very specific. So of course you can look at lactate, you can look at something called procalcitonin, you can look at like CRP or sed rate, but they'll be elevated for any number of reasons, and particularly in somebody who's doing high level training, they're going to be elevated anyway. So like we talked to Campbell the other day about, he had his lactate of whatever it was, 18. And I said, like, if you saw that in somebody in the hospital, like, you would be rushing them to the ICU, because that's a sign of like they're in severe infection. So like it's in this instance, it would be a very complicated factor. But yeah, there certainly are things you can look at.
What do you do exactly? You're a coach in the US team and also like medical.
Yeah. So I'm a doctor in my day to day, and I primarily are doing like family medicine, but I also have a bunch of athletes I take care of. So in Orlando, we have the USTA training center for tennis. So I've got a handful of those athletes that I'll work with on like a sports medicine basis. So that's where that kind of comes in. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it's not biathlon at all, but it's still, training.
No, but the health and body, it's all the same, and it translates to performance, and
exactly.
Yeah.
Nik, I know we've had you for a long time. It's getting kind of late for you. So I guess we'll try to wind it down. RJ, I know you've probably got about 20 more questions. I've got a ton. Anything that you really wanted to get to today?
Why don't you do a couple of your questions, Jordan, and then...
Yeah. So one of the questions I had, and this is just total silliness. Last year when we were in Oslo, we saw your teammates, the women, they were playing spike ball. And so we talked to Sandra, and she was saying that when she introduced it to your team, that you guys, the boys, would pretty much dominate the ladies when you guys would play together. But she said that the women on the team were getting much better, and that they were able to beat you all. So I just want to know, was she just talking them up? Was she just trying to pump them up? Or is this true? Have the women come back and they're kicking your butt at spike ball?
No, she's for sure a good coach, trying to keep the team spirit high, for the ladies. But we usually never play. I think the boys there are they like to go for an easy run or then chill out more than the ladies. They play the spike ball quite a lot. but somehow I have not seen this with my own eyes the way you stated. So
Yeah.
maybe Östersund, we'll see. First day out,
Yeah.
playing spikeball with the ladies. Maybe I'm gonna get clapped there.
I have a feeling
We'll see.
the true story is that the boys were too good, and then the coach told them they couldn't play anymore. And now Nick is saying, "Oh no, we prefer to go for a run."
Yeah,
but deep down he wants to play. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I go with this version also. Sounds quite accurate. Yeah.
Too dominating. It was just too much.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to ask actually was related. You when we had you on last time, you talked a lot about how since she had taken over, there was sort of like a unification of the teams. So like the men and the women were doing more together. Has that continued? Has that maintained, or has there been more of a traditional approach, with dividing up over the last couple of years?
No. At the moment, the way the team has been, I think, last 2 or even 3 years now. I think 2. This is the way it still is. So we're still like just the World Cup team. It's men's and ladies in one team, and I think we have had it has been the right decision we took there. And I think in Swiss biathlon, we don't have like 50 athletes coming up every year all the time. So you have to be able to adapt your system, I think, every 2 or 3 or 4 years a little bit. I think now there's interesting. We have had, I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram or stuff, a little bit like us doing in Davos intervals. We have quite a big group of men right now, or younger athletes coming up.
Yeah.
So maybe it is also in future an option again to make a men's team and a women's team. Since you have a bigger group there of men, and it would maybe make sense for 8 to 9 men to train together to profit a little bit more there from each other. But especially like being on the road together, I think has been a really valuable thing, mixing the teams together, because somehow the spirit has just been a little bit more easy, because men and women, it just brings a little bit more ease into the whole flair there. But for sure, I think this is something which may change in future again, and then maybe change back and then go this way. It's always a little bit complicated, right? Because you need coaches to change a little bit there again. So it's definitely something which probably should sit for Olympic cycle, but after Olympics is usually time where changes like this happen, and this is one option I have talked about also with some other athletes and stuff also, and something which may be considered. But I think after Olympics is maybe the right time to pick up those topics, and plan the future more. Have to think about it a little bit in advance, but then after, you really have to get on it and think again, what's the best for the next years to come, and then where do we change things to make it a successful team. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of success, I mean, these have been the most successful seasons in Swiss biathlon history, right? The last couple of years. I think the highest Nations Cup finishes for you all. Lena had her great season 2 seasons ago now. And I think pretty much across the board, you've seen some of the best seasons from a lot of you guys. Look, now you just triggered like 7 more questions or 7 more things I wanted to talk about, because now I wanted to ask what young Swiss men should we be keeping an eye on that might be on the World Cup this year. I wanted to ask you about the new wax truck that you guys just were showing off.
Oh, yeah.
So there's so much that you guys have going on.
Yeah, that's true. And there's still a few things we haven't touched yet. That's true.
Oh, I know.
No, I mean, what was the first one? Was young athletes? Yeah, I mean, for sure we have one young one which came up to the men's team. Like last year, he has still been at the Junior World Championships, and I think the juniors changed the year now. So I think he's year 2003, I believe. And like last year he made a podium at the Junior World Champs, but this one was I have to say fairly a little bit regarding the good shooting he has done there. It was not the best day on the skis, but this is exactly where he has made a big step this year. He started to ski quite incredibly, and we are all quite surprised how big of a jump he has made.
Nice.
And we don't know him so much from training, because in summer and winter it's always something different, like real race performance and training performance. But by the big jumps he has made, I think he's for sure one which is for sure going to be in the start at the World Cup. I think I'm quite confident to say that, because he shoots really well, and with the skiing performance he has made now and jump, I think he's going to be one which will maybe not only compete but be there and mix right in between the other Swiss names we have.
You're talking about James?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
James Paccal. Yeah.
I
haven't mentioned the name yet.
No.
It was a big build up. A big build up for the name. Okay. No, exactly. Yeah, James Paccal. Yeah.
Excellent. And then the new wax truck that looks pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it is. It's a big ship for sure. So
no kidding. Yeah.
It is. I heard first they told us it's the biggest one now, so we were like thinking, what the hell? But I think the Swedes still have the bigger one. So which is good. I think would have maybe been one too much if the Swiss would have had the biggest one. But no, it's cool. We have, the ladies have managed to pull off a 5th in the nations ranking.
Yeah.
So they're able to take one athlete more this year. We need one wax technician more. So we have 6 wax technicians now. And with all this and around, I think it makes sense, that they pulled the wax truck just to be more convenient, be able to take a few more skis, work better and have a better environment for the technicians also. We'll see how much it translates into taking a step in the ski preparation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different topic, but I think it is cool, and I think the decision was born in Nove Mesto. I think when the big guys from Swiss Ski came and watched the races in Nove Mesto, they saw all those wax trucks, and they were like, why don't we have a wax truck? And I think this is somehow how it started. I don't know, but so it is a beautiful piece of a truck. That's for sure. It's a big thing. Yeah. And if you guys are around and end of season, and I'll give you guys a tour there.
Oh yeah,
we'll see.
We are cool.
Definitely taking you up on that.
Sure. Good.
Are you guys fighting who gets to drive it?
Well, I'm for sure not driving it, so that's a good idea. We should put a bet on there. If ask the wax techs, what do we have to do to do a small lap with the truck? Yeah,
I forgot you need a special license in Europe, right?
Exactly. You don't in America or Canada?
Well, I know there's fewer restrictions.
You would.
For the big ones, yeah.
It's basically the size of a normal pickup truck in the U.S. or this truck.
You joke, except you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But you see some of those camper trailers.
Yeah,
they're like a complete tour bus. And I don't think you need a special license for it.
Yeah, you should.
I mean, that's quite the same thing, probably, right?
Yeah.
But it is basically a camper just to wax skis in, or like huge. Yeah.
All right, Nick, we'll let you get out of here. We could not be more grateful for your time. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you guys. It was good chatting to you. And I noticed once again my English is in between.
It's perfect.
It's frozen.
It's spectacular. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that was great.
For me, it's not so satisfying. Also, like the accent. When I was in school, I was at school in London. And I had like a nice British London accent.
And I like this better.
Being in this Scandinavian, it's a little bit American, but then also you have this little bit Scandinavian accent mixed in and stuff. It gets horrible.
Yeah.
Gets horrible.
Yeah.
That's the cross country English accent.
Go spend a couple of weeks with Campbell. Get some Kiwi mixed in there. It'll be great.
Yeah. think we have a lot of people in the team. They don't understand Campbell because of the accent he has. And then they're like, I think Campbell thinks I'm shy, but I just didn't understand the word he said.
Honestly, I don't think he cares. He's going to talk anyway.
Yeah, for sure. That's the right thing. It's good.